Okay, it's time to move on to Operation 005 and all the stuff we missed there. And obviously, this does include our final missing wonderful one, although he's not going to turn up until a little bit into the video. Now, all things considered, I missed less in Operation 005 and 006 than I thought I did. Either that, or I was just kind of incredibly blind in when I was looking through the footage to try and find the bits that I got. But either way, now that attack right there was wonderful forever, and it is awesome. Just make the massive laser, but it is pretty useless in the grand scheme of getting good combo points and all that jazz. Now, having said that, I didn't miss all that much. Some of the stuff that I did miss did require a bit of hunting. For example, I was searching for this bloody spot for so long. Like, you have no idea. Like, say, kind of, it took me kind of like half an hour. Well, probably more like 45 minutes to do this particular operation. I probably spent about a good 10 minutes searching for that file, and that file as well. But I should also point out that quite a bit of this first bit is actually quite out of order, because some things I found afterwards, and I just thought, make a nice, neat, linear kind of angle of locking things. But yes, getting Gun Cyclone, we get another bottle cap, which is awesome. There are some more skills that you can learn, but they aren't associated with that bottle cap. Also, these are the explorers that you need to find to get the explorer's bottle cap. It's still rather mean, because I don't think you really have any reason at all to go up there. But what the hey, these things happen. Anyway, after much running around, we're into the temple. And we missed a few things in here. It's rather depressing. Also, if during the actual level you were struggling to find kind of people to pick up, you've got some, I believe they're natives / explorers kind of waiting for you on that platform there. So do pick them up if you need them. If not, you can just leave them there, they'll be fine. Now, one thing that's quite mean is that in the area where you fight the Dura for the first time and get Wonder Black, if you jump off kind of the left bottom edge of the arena, you will land here where there is a wonderful toilet. It is one of 2 wonderful toilets that are hidden in such a manner, the other being found in Operation 006, and it's evil. Well, it's not evil, I'm being incredibly hyperbolic. But I do find it a bit mean, because, I mean, there is a hint that you can run off the edge, because your wonderful ones kind of glaze over the side, and whenever they do that, it means that you can kind of jump off. But you're probably unlikely to kind of go this far to the edge of the arena, so it's a bit like that's just mean. Now, one thing I will say is that I'm actually quite glad that these extras parts, well, at least these early extras parts, are so short, because it means that they're quite fast-paced, and mean that I've got a bit of breathing time before we get into the rather heavy stuff. Now, what we're doing here is we're getting the Drill of Iron bottle cap. basically, to get this bottle cap, you have to kill every single enemy in this mission. And the best way of doing that is by using Unite Sword, because it has a pretty large kind of range and allows you to hit a lot of things at once. The annoying thing about it is, though, that if you are really close to something, it won't hit. It's a bit bizarre. And when I say hit everything, I do literally mean everything. You've got the Magangs here, which needs to be hit. And I believe... oh no, you don't need to use Bomb to get them. However, you are going to need to use Bomb to get some of the later enemies in this mission. Now, getting this bottle cap is both easy and difficult. The process of killing all the enemies is not hard. What's difficult is that it's very, very easy to not go quick enough and to kind of accidentally not hit enemies properly, so that then they kind of get caught in the flames. Now, a way to get around this problem is to actually kill yourself, because upon doing that you can reset where the wall of lava is, and there's nothing it can do to stop you, which is very, very helpful and something that I am actually going to make use of, because basically if the fire kills an enemy for you, that doesn't count for you, and you are not going to be able to get the bottle cap. So, purposefully kind of committing suicide gives you the opportunity to kind of prevent your mistake. Now, I think that what happened there was I literally just killed him before I died. So we are going to be fine. Now, something that's also quite funny is that kind of when you're going through this mission, you don't often realise what these enemies are that you're facing, because they look so different to when you normally face them. But you're just facing regular enemies, like those were Orgons, the glowy enemies going up and down really quickly that we had to use the bomb on were Duras, the spinny circle things were the Magangs, then we had the Ankos and the Haganes, and so on and so forth, but we got the bottle cap, yes! Also, there we go, we've got Wonder Prisoner, and we've got the bottle cap, the whole wonderful Wonder Below, which is every single wonderful one in the game. Or at least the main ones. The secret wonderful ones do not count towards that, thankfully. Neither do any of the items associated with them. So there are, I believe, Wonder Files and wonderful figures associated with them, but they don't count towards, well, the files don't count towards your overall total, but I believe the figures do. Largely because with the figures, well, actually no, they don't, because one of the figures you can't get until you have completed everything. So it's literally just stuff in the game and not kind of outside. And by outside I mean because you've got wonderful missions, and I believe the big prize that you get for completing all of the Kakuregas in the game is Operation 101, which I believe is kind of outside. of the main game. I'm not sure, because I've not quite seen how you access it. But I mean, it might, if it doesn't kind of count towards anything other than the big bottle caps, i.e. completing everything. Either way, it's time for Operation 006 now, and pretty much straight from the off, we have the area where you can jump down and find the wonderful toilet. And this is actually our final wonderful toilet of the game. So I'm quite impressed that I only missed two here and then the one in the Kakurega, because I thought there was a chance I would miss more, but it's basically that those four toilets are basically the most difficult to find. So, I mean, if you're playing on easy, you are not going to find the two in the Kakurega. And if you kind of are just playing the game normally, it's unlikely that you're going to decide to run off the edge to find those two. So it's a slight pain of a bottle cap to get, even though it is relatively easy. Now, I believe this is a file of some description? Yes, it's a Geth joke file. It's actually quite evil, because... I should say mean, because it's not evil. Largely because, I mean, like, you've got to hit behind the box, and that's quite a difficult thing to pull off.
Well done, team.
Especially with the water keep pushing you back. Still, as I said before, we are literally rushing through it. And, I mean, you can see kind of the difference in time when you kind of just rushing through the game. You can get through this game reasonably quickly, I mean, not ridiculously so. Because, I mean, you've still got kind of the boss fights, which are reasonably lengthy, and you can't really skip much of them, but kind of the main missions, you can skip a surprising amount and kind of jump through, and it's just quite fun in general. Now, something that I kind of want to say now is that I wish I had been able to do, or show off more of this game. Fortunately, it's just not reasonable for me to do so. But also, I wish kind of I could be more informative about this game. As in, kind of like trivia from development and kind of all that, like I was able to do with Bayonetta. But I can't do that, because there is literally so little content relating to the Wonderful 101. I mean, there's some blogs on Platinum Games' website, but nothing kind of to the same extent as Bayonetta. Or even Metal Gear Rising, for that matter. And I think part of that is because the game is so recent. But I think also, I would assume part of it is that Nintendo has some sort of hand in this. Which makes me sad. Now, one thing that I'm just showing off here, this is Santa's Grotto. This is where we found Santa and that wonderful figure. I didn't show it off in the thing because it was in the middle of the story, but it's here. But yeah, I would love like an art book of the Wonderful 101. It would be amazing. I mean, some of the kind of concept art that has been shown off is great, and some of the art that you get in the actual game is also great. So it's just like, it's really sad that an art book doesn't seem to be happening, because I would be all over that stuff. Like, I waited 2 years for the Bayonetta art book. I would wait exactly the same amount of time for the Wonderful 101 art book, because it'd be just as awesome. And I'd also love for Hideki Kamiya to do a director's commentary of the game, because you learn so much about how the game was made, and it's so interesting and so fun. And you just don't get that from most games these days. And really, I feel that kind of when you get things like that happening, you tend to kind of appreciate the game a lot more. And I like to do that, because a lot of effort is put into these games, like more so than I think a lot of people realise. And I think it should be appreciated on all of its merits. So the more info that we get on these things, the better. But that pretty much brings us to the end of this part. Next time we have got the rest of the game, essentially. Yay!